Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Make Do review. My name is Jack,
My name is Emily.
and on today's podcast, we are reviewing The Lion King 2019.
Yeah, live action, but not live
The
action.
live action remake. I'm doing air quotes.
This is an air quote.
Yeah. How are you today, Emily?
I am good. I'm very full. We had fajitas for dinner. It was great. How about you?
I'm not too bad, and today is the first ever episode in our caravan.
Yes, for those of you who didn't know, we live in a caravan at the moment that we have renovated whilst we save up to move out somewhere. Which is why our logo, our new one, now has a caravan in it.
Yes, it's not random.
Yeah, there is a meaning behind the caravan.
Oh, there goes my mouse. um, but yeah, so we are now going to do the podcast in our caravan, and soon we will begin to record them as well, uh, for YouTube as well.
Yeah, please let us know if that's something that you'd like to see because we feel like we'd really enjoy filming these for you guys to watch as well as just listen to.
Yeah, exactly. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter at the Make Do Review. Like us on Facebook at the Make Do Review, or
Instagram.
Instagram at the Make Do Review.
In
Follow
case you weren't
us
sure.
for any updates that you wish to see.
Thank you. This has
So,
been a public announcement.
so today we're reviewing The Lion King, the 2019 live action remake.
The original was in 1994.
Really?
Yes, this
Ah,
is what I have found.
before I was born.
Same.
Anyway, well, the new one came out in the 19th of July 2019 with a run time of 1 hour and 58 minutes, directed by Jon Favreau, which is his second Disney live action remake,
What was his first one?
The Jungle Book.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And written by, well, the screenplay done by Jeff Nathanson. With a returning cast of James Earl Jones as Mufasa. I think he's the only returning cast member for the
Oh,
original.
but he does it so well.
Yeah, Jon Favreau even has said that he wanted to bring him back because um it was like, it was like carrying on the legacy of the original, and now that James Earl Jones
Mm,
has actually aged quite a bit, I mean, since 1994 now.
yeah.
Yeah. It actually brought a more, like, a voice of a king that's like past his time now.
Ooh, that is
Yeah.
quite
And now
interesting.
that I've heard that, I can actually like see that now. I
Yeah.
kind of get why they would bring him on now.
Well, just sorry to interrupt like the whole rundown of the cast, but something interesting that I read was a review saying that the original had a lot more kind of the Shakespearean tragedy in the sound of the voice acting that they didn't feel was in this film.
I could see that.
So it's interesting that he felt that way about bringing him back and having
Yeah.
that voice again. And you saying about the legacy, I think that's quite interesting.
Well, we'll get to that because I actually want to talk about the voice acting in this film.
Mm.
Continuing on, uh, Chiwetel Ejiofor is Scar, Donald Glover is Simba, Beyonce Knowles is Nala, Seth Rogen is Pumbaa, and Billy Eichner is Timon. So, Emily,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think of this film? Spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
What's your like rundown of this film?
It was good, but in the way that the first one was good, like it's not different
No.
to me. I did like the addition of two like snippets of songs that are relevant that had me giggling, but like overall, it was the same thing just with modern animation. Um, And in some ways, I actually felt like maybe it was a bit more scary because of that. Like there wasn't as much emotion wise in the characters, but
No.
because the animation was so realistic, some of the fight scenes and stuff towards the end, I was a bit like, oh, this. I can see why a lot of people have complained about it not being for kids. So no, it was good, but I don't think I'd rush to watch it again. What about you?
I agree. I was actually bored watching this film, and because this film, it's still animation technically, but they went for realism, and the problem with that is with most animals, they have like deadpan, dead eye, like they have dead eyes, they don't smile or they can't emote. Essentially, most animals can't like show emotion, so it's just like when there's like sad parts happening, it just looks weird because they've just got
Mm,
like a really deadpan look to them. So yeah, I like without spoiling anything, overall, I didn't like this film, and I didn't. I thought some of the voice acting was pretty bad as well.
mm.
Not bad. That I'm not gonna say bad, but the whole cast, maybe except for uh the actor who plays Scar, didn't really put on a voice.
Yeah, it was just.
Everyone's doing their own
I was
voice.
reading this, and that's what I was trying to hint to earlier. Is
Oh,
that
like
people felt like they weren't actually voice acting; they
it-
were just them saying the
yeah,
lines.
'cause like Seth Rogen's Seth Rogen and Donald Glover is like Donald Glover. That's
Yeah.
all I hear. Even with John Oliver, every time I kept hearing him, all I kept thinking of was when he did the voice in Rick and Morty.
Oh
When
yes.
they do the theme park inside the homeless guy, and he's
Yeah.
like he's the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can kind of
Yeah.
see. But once again, that's just John Oliver doing John Oliver's voice. So I would
Yeah.
say that was probably my like, I don't know, maybe that might have been my biggest problem. But we'll get into it. We'll get into
Yeah.
what I hated about this
Oh
film.
gosh.
No,
I
I'm
just
kidding.
feel like it was probably not necessary. I guess you could say all the live action remakes aren't necessary, but some of them, for example, the new Aladdin, which if you've listened to our podcast on that, there's bits that they've changed to make it a bit more modern, such as the more female empowering songs for Jasmine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some of them, I feel like, you know what, you've done a good job at updating this story, whereas with this, I don't feel like it was necessary.
Hmm. Anyway, shall we just get into spoilers
I
then?
think we should.
I think we should too. Um, let's let's start off with. Was there anything that you enjoyed?
Yes.
Did you have a few favorite
I
moments?
I have two.
Oh, you too.
I have two. When Pumbaa and Timon are singing, oh my gosh, in the jungle,
Mhm.
the lion sleeps tonight. That I love that. And then the bit where they are using Pumbaa as bait for the hyenas,
Yeah.
and they start singing "Be Our Guest" from Beauty and the Beast. And he's like put on a French accent to sing the opening of that
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
That had me giggling.
Which is interesting. Does that mean that universes are crossing?
Yeah.
Does that
They
mean Lion
also
King's in
did
the same?
they also did break the fourth wall. Like
When?
you know after Simba has like when they're singing Hakuna Matata and they're
Huh?
Simba's grown up
Yeah.
and
Oh, he says you've grown. You've
yeah, it's like
yeah.
they're talking about how like stop it, like we've been singing this and like now suddenly you're big or whatever or something like that.
Yeah, it's like no, I don't know if that was breaking the fourth wall. It was like a joke where they said like, right, stop singing it now, like Simba.
Yeah.
It's like ever since we started this song, you've grown like 40 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounded to me like they were
I guess
making an
it-
indirect reference, right?
It's more of a nod
Who
to
the
the audience.
audience.
It's like a wink,
Yeah,
like you know,
yeah,
yeah. I don't know if I had favorite moments. Probably my favorite moments were whenever Timon and Pumbaa were in it.
yeah.
Cause I've heard like before I saw this that they're the standout, and they're the standout in the original. To be fair, Um, but yeah, Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner, I think they kind of nailed it. I think
Yeah.
they're probably the only people who kind of nailed their characters because they actually fit the roles
Yeah,
in a
they
way.
did.
Whereas everyone else, I was a bit like,
Yeah.
obviously you had James Earl Jones, and I thought Beyonce was good in this as well. To be fair,
Yeah.
she suited the role,
She did suit the role.
and I was excited to see Donald Glover in this film, but
Mm.
I just all I could hear was Donald Glover. Like he wasn't being a character.
Yeah. I feel like that was the main issue with the voice acting in this, was that they were just
It's a weird choice
them.
because I don't know what the casting process was in this. I don't know if it was a case of they had people in mind and then they called them up, or they actually auditioned.
But the thing is, I remember when I saw this first being advertised and seeing the star-studded cast, and I did wonder. I was like, well, like there's so many singers in this, and it's not necessarily a song-heavy, like for those characters,
Yeah.
piece. And it does sometimes make you wonder: are they trying to make up for the lack of new content in the storyline by having these big celebrities do the voices?
Here's a fact. Did you know Benedict Cumberbatch turned down the role of Scar?
I did not. I've just seen that come up now.
Oh, in my like a moment, I was like, "Can you imagine that? That would have been so good."
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, "Oh, maybe it would be too similar to Smaug."
Yes,
Do you know what I mean? It
actually,
might be a
yeah.
bit too like he'll probably go for that
I
like
can.
really evil.
Yeah, I can see why.
um. Oh well. Um. But yeah, it's just it's weird because it's like a lot of films do that nowadays, like like voiceovers especially. It's just really an actor doing their own voice, and it's probably the director being like, "Yeah, stick to your own voice. We love your voice," you know. Whereas I like the audience don't really want to hear their voice. They want to
Mm.
hear a character. They want to be like they want to be in the film. Whereas if you hear someone that you know and you recognize the voice, it kind of takes you out for a moment,
Yeah.
and I don't
It's
know.
it's like someone that comes to mind when you're saying about iconic voices, but that actually still play it is I cannot think off the top of my head of his name, but he does the voice of Olaf in Frozen. But he was also in the original cast of Book of Mormon.
Yep,
So when you
yep,
hear
yep.
the
Yeah,
cast
I know
for
his name.
his name has gone from my head.
Josh Gad, I
Fantastic,
think.
yes, just good. And he's in Beauty and the Beast, the live action.
Yes.
He's one of those people that like since doing Olaf and stuff. I mean, I knew his voice from the Book of Mormon recording anyway.
Yeah,
But it's such an iconic voice, but
it's his voice.
which is his voice, yeah.
Yeah.
But he does still change it and play it for the character, whereas
Yeah,
yeah,
I could see that. Yeah, it's a heightened up version of his voice.
yeah,
Yeah, I could see that.
he plays it with it to suit the
It's very
characters.
kidsy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whereas for some of these people, I just didn't feel like they actually.
I mean, like when you think back to the original as well, like I would, most people are using their own voice as well, I guess. But it's different. I feel like those are characters and they suit the voice. Like because it's animation, like the animators can make the character suit the voice and all that.
Yeah,
Like see when you think of Scar, I'd think of Jeremy Irons.
yeah,
And in that iconic song, of Be Prepared. And like even like Matthew Broderick is Simba. He's doing his own voice, but somehow it suits it in a way, and I don't know how. But in that,
maybe.
I don't know. In this, I feel like not everyone suits the voice, and it's
Mm,
probably because I'm looking at a real life animal with just people's voices on it.
I was just about to say that maybe that is the problem. There's a disconnect between
There is.
the
That's why.
emotion of a voice and the emotion of the eyes and the
That's why
face.
this film was never gonna work. As soon as I heard there was gonna be a Lion King remake, I'm like, but why? The whole point of animation is like to like show things of disbelief, to
Mm.
show like you know what I mean. Like it makes sense for a talking lion to be in a kids animated film, but then when you try to make it real and stuff, it looks really off.
Something that I'm now trying to think of is whether I feel like there was the same issue in Jungle Book.
I actually haven't seen Jungle Book, but I've heard it's one of the best
Yeah,
remakes.
we really enjoyed that.
But at least there's a human in that. Like
Yeah,
there's an actual person in that film.
I don't know. I don't feel because watching, yeah, as you said earlier, watching the beginning of this, it took me a while to like actually get into it. I was more focused
Yeah.
on the fajitas, not gonna lie.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Like the opening of the film, it's pretty much a shot for shot remake. Not
Yeah.
shot for shot, but it's pretty much the double of the original. Think about the original, like the scale, the opening number. It's the exact. I think it's. I would not be surprised if it's the exact same recording. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just took the song. I think the like second verse might be a different singer to the original. But anyway,
Mm.
yeah, it's that opening shot of the sunset. That the song belts in goosebumps. And then you see all the animals like rushing and scurrying, and then it's building up to that beautiful shot of Rafiki the monkey, like the baboon, sorry,
Mm.
holding up Simba.
Yes,
And then think about the one that you just saw.
yeah.
It's just it
It
doesn't
was
have that skill.
it was lacking the oomph and the wonder that the first one
Yeah,
had. And yeah, having seen the original, and also, have you seen it on stage
I
yet?
haven't. No,
We'll take you at some point. We'll go.
I've
But
never been
that
interested in seeing the stage.
the stage version,
I guess it'd
oh,
be good for the
the
songs. Yeah,
oomph of that song, because you get all of the costumes and the puppets and everything
and they're like they
coming
run through
in.
the audience,
Yeah,
don't they?
coming in
Yeah,
through the audience. They're all above you, colourful everywhere. The song again and the belting of the voices, the power of those singing voices.
exactly.
It's just like in the first film where it's like, wow, like
Mm.
this is something, like you're part of something big here, which is the whole point of the song, like Circle of Life, everything is
Yeah,
connected. This is
yeah.
something big. Whereas, yeah, we just didn't really feel that in this opening song.
No, it's so dead. The opening to this film just we're having our dinner, and then I'm like looking up every now and again, and I'm like, oh, wait, this is the opening to the film, and I could not tell you what is
No.
happening. But then the moment comes when he lifts up the baby cub of Simba, and I was just kind of like, oh,
It was a bit lackluster, wasn't it?
lackluster, because they went for more like a realism with the monkey, at the baboon, sorry, and he's like sitting down, whereas in the animation he's like standing up and he's like hovering, like pretty much like yeah, there's something grand about it,
Mm.
and it's the newborn king. It's maybe like this grand thing. You've got the most amazing music playing. The circle of life. It's beautiful, like a sunsetty orange. And then in this, it just looks so dull and grey, and there was no color.
It was just missing
The
that
color
magic.
doesn't really show up in the film until they get to Timon and Pumbaa's area.
Yeah.
That's where you see all the green trees and the forest, and it
That
looks
was really
nice.
beautifully
Yeah.
ugh,
Well,
animated, yeah.
I haven't mentioned this, but big props to the film. It looks stunning.
It does.
It does. It's a technical feat, like to have like everything. Probably, Emily was saying this to me. It's like it's amazing that the cameraman would have to like go and film this, and there's nothing there. And I'm like, well, no, because everything you see is CG. most likely.
Like the animals, obviously, like they are fantastic. They're extremely lifelike. But like looking at the actual like nature part
Yeah,
of it,
yeah,
like the
exactly.
rocks and stuff, I was like, I
It's
can't tell what is CG and what is like actual like B-roll footage of the actual
yeah, because there'll be some shots.
like desert and stuff like
Because
that.
the way I see it, it's probably the exterior shots and stuff like to set the scene where they are.
Yeah,
That will be real, and then everything when the creature's there, it's all CG and
CG.
animated.
But
So
I couldn't
crazy.
tell you really where that ended and where it began. Yeah, that's the thing. Visually, it is amazing.
Yeah.
Um, but that's why I felt like when they have like the stampede and Mufasa's death, and then at the end the fight between Simba and Scar. That's why I can see that a lot of people with kids have said I had to take my child out of the cinema because they were
Have people
crying.
actually said that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um.
I could see it though, because you kept saying that to me during the film. It's like I could see why kids would not enjoy this film,
Yeah.
because it is. It's because it's real and it's kind of darker and.
I think that's the thing. Like it would still upset you as a kid. Like I remember still being upset by it, but because it is that unrealistic animation, there is that slight distance. Whereas because this does look so real,
Mm,
yeah, it probably is quite upsetting.
yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you have like any memories of the original? Like, what's your first memory of the original film?
My actual memory isn't actually of watching the film.
Yeah.
It's actually of being in Disneyland,
Oh, okay.
and it
When
was
was this?
this was when I was about 9 or 10, so I'd been before.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember we were we were lining up for the Dumbo ride, and it was our
Yeah.
last day. And my parents were like, "We have to like go for the Eurostar now. Like we can't wait to get on the ride." So we were like, "We're gonna all run through the shop and like just have a look. If there's anything you want, like just grab it and go."
Oh, you're
And I
rushing.
ran in, and the first thing I saw was a plushy baby Simba in this leaf,
Ah.
like wrapped up with a leaf with a little butterfly like on the front, and I was like, I have to have
Yeah.
baby Simba. So I bought baby Simba in like this mad rush through Disneyland to like take back on the train, and I think I've still got baby Simba upstairs. But yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. I think so. That's my kind of first proper memory is like just really loving baby Simba and like I think it was just fun. I think that's what I'm taking from that is that I really enjoyed the film and found it fun and
Yeah.
cute baby animals.
See, my first memory, it's a bit of a weird one. And I'm quite embarrassed to actually mention this.
Oh
Is when I was younger, it was like me and my cousin, we used to play the Lion King.
Yeah.
So we used to pretend to be lions, and we would like walk about my house on all fours and all that, and like, like reenact it, and we would get like bowls of water and like drink out the bowls and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's probably like my earliest memory. But yeah, I was obsessed with the Lion King. Um, and I don't know why, because I know for a fact my mum will tell you this, and my sister, that my favorite animated film was Snow White. Apparently, when I was
That's
younger.
really cute.
Yeah, apparently when I was younger, I was obsessed with it. But I do remember being obsessed with the Lion King as well. It's just because do you remember when they re-released the Lion King for cinemas? They brought it out for 3D.
No.
No, it was like it'll be a while back now, but yeah, they re-released The Lion King to come out for 3D. So it's like Lion King's huge. It's such a
Yeah.
huge Disney property. Um, so
I have to
I
say
don't know.
though, I mean this is kind of going off topic of just The Lion King, but for me as a child, although I did watch all the classics like Dumbo and The Fox and the Hound and all, Lion King and this and the other,
Yeah,
I was 100% much more like the princesses, like invested. I just loved all the princess films and stuff like that. So although I did watch all of those ones with the animals and stuff, I didn't. I don't have as fond memories of like playing those characters and stuff. Which is funny because I actually really love animals, but like I don't really remember The Lion King 2, which is I feel like is blasphemous.
Yeah, the Lion Ting. The Lion Ting. The Lion Ting too. No, it was a straight. I think it was like a straight to video sequel. And it's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
I would have seen it. I just
It's got some good songs. But yeah, what do you think has grossed more money, the remake or the original? Because I have the answer.
I feel like the remake has made more, probably because of the amount of adults that have gone to see it and
Ah.
taken their children, especially because of the amount of like famous people in the film.
Not by much though. So the original grossed like 966 million worldwide, and the remake has grossed 1.6 billion worldwide. So it's close.
That is close.
But that's a really good point because it's the same with like Toy Story came out. I heard that the like creators of Toy Story were saying like this film is for the adults now. This is for the people who grew up with Toy Story, and now here's your ending.
And we're gonna get onto Toy Story in a different podcast because that was a fantastic film.
November. Well, as this podcast comes out, this is like pre-recorded down way before. As this comes out, we'll be in the month of November, and it's going to be our catch-up month. So you heard it here first. November is our catch-up month for all the summer blockbusters that we missed because we were too busy with like moving and university and stuff.
You've heard this here first, even though this podcast might be released last, so you might already have like listened to everything anyway.
No, this will be the first one. It has to be the first one now.
But yeah, back to The Lion King.
Back to the Lion King. Yeah, like all I want to talk about is the original, because like it's even like I kind of missed Rowan Atkinson as well as Zazu, because obviously they got another British person. They got John Oliver.
Yeah.
And but even like
I know.
Even Rowan Atkinson was doing his own voice, but at least it was like a little bit like nasally and kind of like,
I just feel like the issue really is because the film is pretty much exactly the same. So
there's a couple of new things. Like well, I guess not. I get
there's
like
not enough.
they've kind of changed little things, like how certain things happen. Like how Rafiki found out that Simba was alive, which I thought was the most ridiculous thing ever. Because in the original, he's talking to Mufasa. Rafiki's like, he's like the wind's kind of Mufasa talking to him, and he tells him that he's alive. Simba's alive, which is like a nice moment because he's like, like it's a nice bit of animation with the wind and all that, and it's nice. But for some reason in this one, the way they show Rafiki finding out
my god, yeah.
that Simba's alive was like a strand of Simba's hair like flies off of him, and it's like slowly going through the plains of the desert and all that, and
in a stream.
Yeah, it lands on a stream, and a bug lands on it so it can get through the stream, and then another bug takes it somewhere else.
A bird puts it in its nest.
A bird puts it in his nest, but that another bird didn't want it in the nest, so it spits it out, and then it ends up in a leaf, and a giraffe eats the leaf. And then guess what happens, Emily? The giraffe poops it out. The giraffe poops.
Jack literally turned to me and he was like, I'm literally
we are literally watching a ball of shit
with fur in
with
on our screen.
a hairy shit on the screen. Literally, it took up the full screen, and
for like a good minute.
Like, yeah, it was long. This is like a long moment of shit
And then
on
it
the
breaks
screen,
open.
and it's a beetle rolling it down the hill, and then it cracks perfectly down the middle, and then and then an ant grabs the hair, the shit covered hair.
No. The shit covered hair blows away slightly somehow. And
Sorry,
then
yeah,
the
the
ant
wind
fixes it.
drifts it into a field of ants, and then a colony of ants takes it up to Rafiki's tree, where he somehow spots a strand of hair, and then he's like, "Whoa! What's that ant doing there with that hair? Let me pick it up." And then all of a sudden he's like, "Simba!" It's like,
Simba's alive.
it's like you can't make it up.
I understand that. Or is that supposed to have happened?
Oh, I know what's happened. Sorry, technical difficulties. Our screen went blank there, but it's fine.
I can get why they have done it though, because
You get why they put shit on the screen?
yeah.
Was it to get a laugh? Was it supposed to
No.
be funny?
I think it's supposed to be like how obviously Mufasa said to Simba, everything is connected, it's the circle of life, and then Pumbaa and Timon have been like, no, we're all on like a line, we're not connected. So I think it's supposed to kind of be like this whole thing of no, you are a part of the bigger thing, like you're connected. So, like his hair like then gets eaten and this and that and the other. So I feel like it's supposed to show how things are connected like in the wild. But I have to say the dung beetle bit just did not, like we got that without the poo.
So ridiculous.
And it was quite long. I have to say it was very
dragged.
long.
It literally added like 5 minutes of my life.
Wasn't there another shot of something that happened and we were like, what was the point in that? I can't think what it was.
You've caught me off guard.
But it was just this like scene where like not very much happened and we were both like, what was the point?
Can you remember anything about it? I know there is another scene.
I
but
feel like there was a tree.
a what?
A tree.
A tree?
I feel like there was a tree. Well, they
There's trees everywhere. they're in a field.
Do you guys listening know what I mean? Like I feel like there was like a little scene when not much happened.
The whole film.
And I feel like they were stood by a tree or something. I can't think what it was.
I don't know either. You've just flung this on me. Like how the dung beetle flung a shit into my screen. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Trust me, there was a scene that was just a bit like, right, what was the point in that?
Right.
I feel like it'll come back to me.
Yeah, let's swiftly move on from the shit. Oh, this is. Oh, sorry. Let's talk about the songs.
Just recovering. The
I've ate too much right now. Here's a tip: if you're gonna record anything, don't eat beforehand.
Yeah,
Because now I feel bloated and it's gonna just come all out at once. Anyway, what did you think of the music?
Not as grand as the original,
Right?
and despite having like Beyonce and
Beyonce was good.
Donald Glover. Well, the thing is, like the songs were good, like the singing was, good, but it just didn't have the same. Like I suppose, like the opening song, it just didn't have the same, like.
Did you feel like they
vibe.
were cut short as well?
Yes.
I feel like a lot of the songs were like really quick, and it's annoying because with animation, it was the same with Aladdin. Like when the songs are happening, you're like, oh, it just feels so, ugh. Because with animation, they can do so much more. It's a lot more exciting. There's stuff going on. There's like nice little details. And I mean, like, yeah, technically this is animation as well. But they stuck with the realism. There wasn't like for example, when they sung like I Can't Wait to Be King, there was no like animals like doing like stacking on top of each other and then and he's got like the feather boa on him and all that. There's none of that. It's just
I
boring.
tell you what it feels like. It feels like when you watch a musical,
Uh-huh.
like a film musical,
Oh
and the
yeah.
song has just kind of been shoved in,
Yeah.
and so the characters kind of like singing this song, but like going about their day, and it kind of just feels a bit cheesy and not like a bit like random that they've started singing.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that. I don't
Like it just sounded a little forced.
like the opening song "Circle of Life." That was great.
Yeah, that was really good.
That still had the whole
In terms
orchestra.
of
Like, yeah,
that.
that was great. It's the exact same. That's why it's great. I thought Hakuna Matata was good as well. To be fair.
Yeah, I like the way that they introduced that because that was quite fun,
Yeah.
which is why I then liked In the Jungle
In the
and
jungle.
Be
That's
Our
in the
Guest.
that's in the original as well. In the jungle.
But I just love it.
Yeah, it's good. That was good because in this one all the other animals started joining in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was quite fun.
That was good. Yeah, I'd say those two. And to be fair, my favorite song from the original Lion King
Oh,
is "Be Prepared," which I think is one of the greatest villain songs ever made, and it is so like phoned in. It's like rushed in. They pretty much don't do the song.
yeah, I didn't even really kind of like register that it was the song.
I was
until
waiting
it was,
for
like,
it. It's
to
like
the end.
it's like you're waiting for it to start. You're like, okay, here it's gonna start. The music's gonna kick up and it's gonna start.
It's
No,
gonna reach the next level of villainous, and it didn't.
no,
No,
nothing. And it's so disappointing. It's such a good song.
it just didn't feel threatening or villainous in any way.
I think they were obviously trying to go with like a more serious tone, whereas like with Jeremy Irons, it's like very like evil. Like this is an evil plan. It's great.
But it kind of didn't feel like it.
And Chiwetel
Yes.
Ejiofor, he can sing.
Yeah, he can. I have
Yeah,
to, I
like
have to
at the
give that
end
to
when
him.
he does the "Be prepared," like it's great. But for some reason, they just didn't have him sing the whole thing.
I
It was
know.
kind of like a spoken word song. It was
Mm.
like he was reciting a poem.
Sorry, just like drinking right into the microphone there.
Stop it. Did you Was there any songs that you didn't like?
Probably that one.
Yeah, was that your
Probably
least
because
favorite?
it just did disappoint me.
And there was a new one as well. They added in a new song.
That I thought was okay because it was them kind of like
Running.
running through like all the different
Being
wilderness
lions.
scenes. Yeah, back to their home, and I kind of got the vibe of that being like the energy of like wait, like going home, we're gonna like save our kingdom. I'm like being who I was always meant to be type thing.
Mm.
Was it necessary? No, but
Was it necessary?
but was it
No.
bad? No, it was okay. I was kind of like, oh, this is okay. This is sweet.
I'm trying to find what the song is called, so keep talking.
Um, yeah, the music in this, I don't know, but then when I'm trying to compare it to the state, I don't know. I feel like everything on
it's-
stage sounds good.
It's called Spirit. And did he actually? Yeah, and Labyrinth sang it. Do you remember Labyrinth, the
Yeah,
singer?
I do.
Yeah, it was Beyonce in Labyrinth.
I was,
thought it
I
was
was about
Donald
to say,
Glover.
I was about to say, I swear there was a female voice in there though.
Oh yeah. But yeah. Oh, there's two new songs. There's a new Elton John one as well,
Oh, that was lovely.
and it's called "Never Too Late," which I thought was lovely.
That was
But
really
of
lovely.
course, it was for the credits.
Yeah,
like-
of course.
But
Not like it's the Sir Elton John, our Lord and Saviour.
yeah. So why is it in the credits?
Exactly.
It should be in the movie. Because I was saying that, I was like, "Where's my Elton John song?" There's no Elton John. Why is Elton John not
What was
singing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight"?
was that your least favorite song? Then Be Prepared.
Yeah, 'cause the disappointment. Yeah. To be honest, most of the songs were like, okay. It was the same with Aladdin. Like, I was like, ugh, okay.
But see with
Like,
Aladdin,
because it was like, it's the same thing. My favorite song from that movie is the most disappointing one.
oh
Cause
yeah,
Because it was one jump from Aladdin, which I was so disappointed in because it just was so phoned in. And it's the same with this. It's just, ugh, they don't care. They save it for the big numbers.
yeah. But I would definitely watch Aladdin again, whereas I don't think I'll bother with this.
Really?
I think if I'm gonna watch The Lion King, I'm just gonna watch the original.
Yeah. I'd watch the original for both.
Oh yeah, but like with Aladdin, I wouldn't mind watching
So,
the live action
yeah,
again.
so if I gave you the choice, yeah, of course. I think everyone would say that. I don't think a single person would be like, no, I think I would watch this one over the original.
Mm.
You know?
I would love to know what the children, the
What?
children, what children in general thought of this film.
What do the children think? Huh? What do the children think?
Like,
They're out there crying.
would they prefer this one over the old one
Well, how would
because of
they
the
know? Because they weren't
because-
born.
because of the animation?
So
Like,
they would,
do you know what I
of
mean?
course, prefer the animation.
No. Would they prefer the more realistic style? Because I feel like that's how animation is now. It's more realistic in general.
It's not.
I don't know. I'm not a child.
When you watch anime, we've seen Toy Story 4. That's not realistic.
This is true.
That's got somewhat of a
What did the children think of that?
Come on, tell us.
Need a child.
What did you think of The Lion King? Did it remind you of Shakespeare's historic play of Hamlet?
What did you think of the animation technique?
Did you enjoy the animation
Do you prefer
style
2D or
of
3D?
CGI? Okay. I think we should wrap this up.
Oh God. Just go.
Come here, child. Let me ask you a question. What do you prefer? The realistic version of The Lion King or the animated one from 1994?
That sounds like it was so long ago.
It was long ago, Emily. It's like, oh god, so long ago. It's 20 years ago.
No, longer than that.
Yeah, no, I was just rounding it up.
Oh. Okay. And with that, Jack, what do you give this film out of 5?
I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. I have to say it's a technical achievement. It will probably win some awards for special effects, maybe. Even though it should go to Endgame if we're talking Oscars. Yeah, I'd say so. Actually, it probably will go for that. Would you see for the Oscars? Do you think this would be in the category for best animation?
I don't know.
That's a good question, though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Would it get a nomination for I mean, it can get a nomination for best film, but would it get a nomination for best animation?
Yeah, I think so.
That was so funny. Anyway,
I digress.
I digress. Yeah, Jon Favreau's he's shown himself to be a pretty amazing director. I mean, there's great shots in this. It's very beautiful. It's it's well done. The cast for the most part. I mean, I feel like the cast would have been amazing if they all maybe put a bit of effort in it.
Just casually saying that no one put any effort into this.
No, like they just tried something. Not a single person has a different voice.
No.
Not really. It might be a little bit heightened, but everyone's using their own voice, which is so boring. Anyway, yeah, it's the same story. Lion King, it's
Lion King.
Lion King, Ting, Lion Tings. Yo, girl, yo, girl.
Jack's watched a different film to
It's
what
my
I've
Lion
watched.
Ting over there. You're my Lion Ting, Emily.
Oh, please never say that.
Anyway, but it's yeah. I'm gonna straight out say I did not enjoy this film because it's a remake of like a pretty good, like pretty amazing animation film, and it should have just stuck like that. I'm kind of bored. I think at one point we will review all the live action remakes.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, because we've done Aladdin and now we've done this, so I think we'll do the other ones like Cinderella and stuff like that. But so far, I'm so bored of them already. I've only watched two, and I'm so bored. It's just they're just not good because what's the point? All they're trying to do is make money, and obviously, when it comes to Disney, that's all they see is a cash grab. But it makes me feel bad for like the directors, and obviously they put a lot of work into this, and especially this one, Jon Favreau clearly put so much time and effort into this because it looks amazing. Whereas I think maybe some of the earlier remakes are just pretty lazy cash grabs. I'd say.
I enjoyed. Wait, what ones are you talking about in regards?
Cause I've heard that Cinderella is like terrible.
I really enjoyed Cinderella.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flip
Destroying
the table.
Caravan.
How dare you?
But I really enjoyed Cinderella, and I also really enjoyed Beauty and the Beast.
I have seen more. I've seen Beauty and the Beast, and I hate it. But we'll get to that one day. So
I'm giving him
I'm
like the
getting such a
dirtiest
dirty
look.
look. We'll get to that. We'll watch it. We'll rewatch it and review it. But yeah, I would give this film. You know, I feel like all of my things are to do with death. Sure.
Go on, do it.
Wait, I'll give it 2 lions. Sleeps tonight. Sleeping in the jungle.
God, okay.
Yeah. In the jungle, the mighty
Tonight.
jungle. 2 lions out of 5.
Sleep tonight.
Sleep tonight. Emily, what would you give The Lion King 2019 out of 5?
I
You're so done. You want to give it a low score, but you're too nice.
no. I was like, do I give it a 1 or a 2? It has to be a 2. I have to say.
I give it a 2.
I give it a 2 because it's not bad, but it's
a
not
remake,
really.
you know?
It's not really new. It's not really
Yeah.
very exciting. I was kind of bored. I was more focused on my food.
As always.
Yeah. I got excited about then the chocolate. That
Oh
I remembered I
yeah,
had.
we've ate a lot of food tonight.
Got like sugar rush or something.
Must do.
But yeah, 2. Like I'm not gonna really bother to watch this again.
No.
I feel like it wasn't really needed.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in all, if you've listened and you've not seen the film,
Don't see it.
don't be in a rush to. Don't think I need to see this right now. Like if it's on,
yeah.
but like
That's
don't go
my
out your
final
way.
review. Just don't see this film. There's no point. I mean, if you're a huge fan of The Lion King, why not? Because I remember people were buzzing to see this film because they're like huge fans of The Lion King. You know, like people our age.
If you're gonna watch it, you have to watch it for Baby Pumbaa.
Oh yeah, that was so cute.
The cutest thing about the whole film.
It was when
It's like a 30-second
yeah,
shot,
it
not
was when
even.
they were singing Hakuna Matata, and it's like when I was a young warthog, and then it flashbacks to him in the pond,
with
and
the
it's
butterfly.
and it's so yeah. Even I was like, oh my god, it's so cute.
So if you're gonna watch the
it's
film,
so sweet.
that's all you want to watch it for.
Anyway, this has been the Make Do Review podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for putting up with us.
Yeah, I think I think our minds are gone. There's like we are currently the two brain cells in our brains. We're the two laughing hyenas.
Oh no.
We didn't even mention the hyenas.
They were scary, but they weren't really in it very much.
They sucked. They're so boring. Because it even says in the facts that Jon Favreau had to change their style completely from the original because they're so animated and goofy. But then in this, they made them more realistic and not as funny. Anyway, we got to end the podcast. But thank you thank you so much for listening. To the podcast.
Let us know what you thought.
Let us know what you thought. You can message us on Twitter at the Make Do Review, or you can send us an email at the Make Do Podcast at gmail.com, where you can ask us any questions, or you can give us any requests on any movies that we want to see. My name is Jack.
My name has been Emily.
Why is it always has been?
Maybe I'll change it.
maybe it'll change one day. And that will do.
That will do. Bye.